This is an intro. Who needs an intro? I don't need an intro. This is just a vape show. It's just a vape show. Vape show. This is an intro. Who needs an intro? I don't need an intro. This is just a vape show. It's just a vape show. Vape show. Vape show.
What's up, YouTube? I'm your homeboy Josh, back at you with a follow-up review. This would be the follow-up review to the Royal Hunter RDA from Council of Vapers. We did the unboxing a few days ago. I gotta say, I was expecting a bit more. We'll get into it. I'll explain. It looks like it's pretty good on the clouds. Not as good as you want it to be. I was hoping for a lot more. Council of Vapers, what they like to do is they like to take a little bit of this and a little bit of that, the best of in the industry, and they sort of bring it all together into their own hybrid products. Airflow. Okay. Airflow on this guy. So airflow on this guy looks to be pretty decent. You've got this gradient that goes on up like this. I've heard it called, pumping up the volume. That's fine too. Call it whatever you want. It should be decent airflow. And it's a nice design. It's a nice design. The adjustable airflow does function very nice. Closes off, opens up. That gradient. I like that. That's cool. But the airflow also is where Council of Vapers starts to get it wrong. First, let me get this out of the way. On my last video of the Royal Hunter, the unboxing, there was a comment by this guy, Electronic Jew, and he commented that it was, the Royal Hunter was just a fancy troll RDA. And I went to reply to him, and I accidentally deleted the comment. I don't know how that happened. I don't know how do you do that? How do you do that? You fucking moron. You gotta be a moron to do something like that. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to delete your comment, Electronic Jew. If you go back to the video and comment again, cool. If not, don't worry about it. It's not that big of a deal. I went in there and I wrote what you wrote again. Because I agree with you. It is a fancy troll RDA. I was going to reply and tell you so. The thing is, I'm an idiot. Now, I've never vaped a troll, but I mean, I'm familiar with the troll. I know the ins and outs of the troll. I've seen the videos on the troll. Yeah, the reason I've never tried the troll is because I know I already like it. I liked it when it was called the Mutation X version 2. The Mutation X version 2 is pretty much a troll. You've got the diagonal airflow slots. You've got the same adjustable airflow, the same single coil and dual coil options. And it's got the same sort of airflow slots that create that cyclone effect that everyone likes, everyone talks about because it creates great clouds. That's where Council of Vapers started to go wrong. They think that they've got, the airflow that everyone likes in this RDA. They don't. They don't. They've got the same sort of volumetric kind of airflow system, but it's not slanted. And it's not going to create that cyclone effect. It doesn't work that way because these are straight. They're not cut at a diagonal like the Mutation X version 2. In order to get that cyclone effect, they need to be slanted. So the airflow spins up like this. It doesn't work if it's just straight. I don't know if it's their intention to try and mimic that airflow, but that's one thing that's missing from this RDA is that slanted airflow. And I was really hoping that this would be sort of a improvement on the Mutation X because the systems seem very similar. It's not. It's different. And that's one miss for me with the Council of Vapers because if it's meant to be a cloud blowing addy, it fails because it does not have that diagonally placed airflow system. And that's one thing that I think would have improved it significantly and made it more of a cloud blowing sort of atomizer. It's decent on the clouds, but it's not as good as it could be. Let me show you the build I got in here. Come on in. I'll show you. In here I've got 8 wraps, 24 gauge, centered, ample amount of cotton. You can fit a good amount of cotton in there. I like that. I like the dual O-rings. But the deck is pretty much identical to the Mutation X deck. You've got the T-post design. The only thing that the Royal Hunter RDA had going for it over the Mutation X, or so I thought had going for it over the Mutation X, were the Phillips head screws. But in practice, what happens is the Phillips screws, the heads are way too tiny for it to really matter. If the head of the screw was made deeper, it would matter. But when they're that shallow, you can't really screw it out very easily. I made do with the smallest Phillips that I had, but it really doesn't do it. It's still a struggle. And this screw right here, the one on the T-post, one of the ones on the T-post is already starting to strip. That being said, the thing that I hate most about the Mutation X, the thing that stops me from building on this thing all the time, is the damn triangular Allen screw. I hate that thing because nothing else fits in here except that one triangular Allen screw. And I've managed to hold on to it, but I think it's fear of losing it that I don't use it as much as I do, as I could. So thanks for trying, Council of Vapors, but the Phillips screws, they come up as a big old fail because they're unusable. Thanks for trying. Let's move on. Let's take a look at this drip tip. This drip tip is what attracted me to this RDA. This is why I wanted this RDA. That honeycomb on the drip tip, what it's supposed to do is keep the liquid from going in your mouth. Does it work really, really well? It could work better. It could work a lot better. I was still getting some e-juice in my mouth, and part of the reason for that was because this drip tip is so wide, I'm too tempted to drip juice through it. But if you drip juice through this, you will just get your e-liquid stuck in that honeycomb, and when you go to take a pull, it will just shoot right into your mouth. So you can't drip right through the top cap, which I object to. I object to that, Council of Vapors. Shame on you. The top cap is just so ample that you want to drip through that thing, and you can't. So in order to try and get this not to kick back in your mouth with the e-liquid, what you need to do is pop this off, which isn't the end of the world, I guess, but I mean, what are you going to do with it when you pop it off? Just set it aside? I mean, I'm mobile sometimes. You know, I mean, it's not always convenient where I have someplace to set this down when I'm dripping. So what I usually do with a top cap like that is just put it in my mouth. Like this. But it's too damn big. You can't just hold it in your mouth like that. I mean, you can. You saw me before. I failed miserably, but you can. It's not comfortable. It's not comfortable at all. And what's more so, even if you don't go and take the top cap off and drip into it without dripping through the drip tip, you still get juice in your mouth sometimes. Even with the honeycomb. Even with the honeycomb. And when it does, it's always like a super hot spit back. You know, it singes your taste buds off your tongue. Not fun. Not fun. Not at all. And the other thing about this drip tip, it gets super hot. Super hot. Super hot. I mean, it is hot. I don't like metal drip tips, and this is a metal drip tip. See what they did, what I can tell, it looks like the honeycomb is Delrin or something. That's what it looks like. Yeah, it looks like the honeycomb is Delrin. But and then they seal it into the metal top. See, what I think they did with this drip tip is that they made the top part is metal and this part is Delrin. I think that's what they did. I think this honeycomb at the bottom is definitely Delrin. I'm about 99% sure. But this part is 100% metal. And the Delrin does not do a significant job of cooling it down. It still gets really, really hot on the lips. And that is the reason that I cannot keep this RDA. I can't do it. I stopped using metal drip tips a long time ago. I don't like how hot they get. And it's not, I don't like it at all. The metal drip tips, they get too hot. I don't like burning my lips. And it's not like I'm turning this up super high. I'm not. That's 53 watts, okay? If I was vaping this at, say, 70, 80 watts, then yeah, I can forgive the metal drip tip getting hot. Getting warmer. By the third hit, it's already getting pretty warm. Okay? That's not okay. And you think you turn it down. I tried building this again with, I've got a 24 gauge build in here. It's 0.37 ohms. I tried building it again with 26 gauge, and it, ohmed out to more like 0.5 ohms. It was still getting hot. Even vaping at like 30, 40 watts, it was still hot. And that's just uncomfortable. Not to mention, I cleaned it off already, but this drip tip, it's a lip gunk magnet. It's gross. It's really gross. It's unsanitary. Maybe it's because it's black. I don't know. Maybe the white one will be better when they come out with that, and it'll hide it a little bit better. But lip gunk is like sticks out like a sore thumb on this drip tip. It's gross. So the flavor is okay. It's not the best flavor I've ever had. The airflow is not engineered in such a way that I'd say it's a big cloud chasing atomizer. Clouds are decent. I get more clouds out of my Mutation X, and I get better flavor out of my Mutation X. And that's what it is to me. It's a fancy Mutation X, or a fancy Troll. I have to say, I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed in the Royal Hunter. I was expecting a lot more. So this thing is going back on eBay. I'm putting it back out on eBay. I got it for 37 bucks on eBay. I'm going to sell it on eBay and get rid of it. Go get something else. For 45 bucks, go buy a Mutation X or go buy a Troll. They're better. And they do the same thing, but they do it better. Till next time, I'm your homeboy Josh. Vape on, Vapers.